The Croydon Football Club is usually a team who would be in the Southern Counties East League Division 1. But because of the big Premier League teams being expelled all the way down to the 10th tier, they've been swapped out with Crystal Palace, meaning Croydon are now in the Premier League. The Croydon Football Club plays their games at the incredible Croydon Sports Arena with a capacity of 8,000 people and a seating capacity of just 400 people from that one tiny stand up there. I guess the rest of the people stand around the running track to watch the game. It's fine, it's all good. But I'm going to build them from scratch to become a consistent Premier League and Champions League team. Come join along with me on another fun experimental rebuild on Mr. Apple's FM. So of course, this is from my series where the Premier League teams have been expelled down to the 10th tier of English football, and Croydon were one of the lucky teams who got replaced with them. The only thing I have done is just increase their reputation to, I think it was about 6,500, which was just a little bit more than the couple of lower clubs in the Premier League, just to give them some sort of fighting chance to get some players into the club. Now, all of the Premier League teams now, as we go into it, all of them are at the same reputation level. So essentially all of these clubs have the same possibility of signing the same caliber of players. But let's dive into it now. Okay, so the first players that we are bringing in are not going to be the most incredible players in the game. We need to build this up and just get ourselves better than the teams around us. And then from there, hopefully we can start bringing in some of the bigger players, mainly from the previous Premier League clubs in probably season 2, season 3, and then starting to bring in some of the bigger players from around the world after that. We have Francisco Navarez, so he's probably one of our better players at the moment. He's going to control the centre of the park. Dorny Romero is going to come in, again, decent pace for the kind of level that we are at the moment. In fact, he's probably our best player in the team. As you can see, 5-star of current ability compared to the rest of the team. Sean Joash should be able to get us a few goals with his 14 for finishing, pace and acceleration and agility as well. The only other couple of players of any real note are Mark Beavers and Sincere Hall. Both of them are coming in on loans and will hopefully be part of the team going forward beyond that, as they have potential deals at the end of those loans. So this is the tactic that we're currently going with. It's going to be a 4-1-3-2, just going all out attack. We've only got a couple of the kind of creative players that the game gives you when you select to fill all playable teams. Otherwise we would have had no players at all, and those two are pretty average, but they are still in there. So we just wanted to make sure that we go all out attack so we get plenty of goals in this league, and then we'll rethink that strategy next year. So a couple of players of note. First of all, Fred Onyendima is coming into the side from Luton Town, of course. Probably a real big one for us is Simon Adingra from Brighton. £6 million. He comes in essentially as our best player at the moment. So he's going to run down the wing. He's probably just about the best player in the league. We have Placheta coming in from Swansea to do a job down the left-hand side, either as a left back or a left wing. A bit of experience up front with the Japanese player Yuya Osaka. Again, should get us plenty of goals. With his experience, probably one of the better players in the league as well. His pace, not so great, but everything else is there for a striker at this current level of ability in the league. Okay, then we have Joe Arebo, really good attacking midfielder and winger with his first touch and dribbling. Not so great with his speed, but that's okay. He's got other attributes that should help him out in this level at the moment. And lastly, between the six, we have Anthony Patterson coming in from Sunderland for just over £11 million. Probably the best Premier League goalkeeper at the moment, because I don't think any of the other clubs have actually signed too many. So at the end of the January transfer window, we are currently sitting in first place. Only lost one game, only drawn one game as well. So Droylsden away, and we drew with Newport 4-4, which is a fun game. Sutherland, look, we're scoring mostly 3s and 4s and even 5s goals a game. So we should be better than all the teams around us now. We have built a team really, really well. Let's see if we can continue on for the end of the season. All right, so we've gone on to the end of the year and we have won the league, which unsurprisingly, obviously, We did build a really, really good side, probably better than what the other teams were able to do at this point in time. 34 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, a 128 goal difference is fantastic. 173 goals scored, 45 conceded. So we could probably tighten up a bit at the back, but we did go ultra attacking. We've got Jack Norris and Sean Joash as our top 2 goal scorers. So yeah, checking out those goal scorers, and Norris, Joash and Romero getting plenty of goals for us. Adingra, Asako and Forrest also getting into double figures. And assist-wise, we had 5 players get into double figures for assists. So Romero, Norris, Hall, Navarez and Placheta getting up there, setting up the goals for our team. Let's check out the other competitions to see if we've done anything. And of course not. Knocked out in the 3rd round by Bristol City in the FA Cup. So 6-4, that's a hell of a game, that one. It looks like we were 4-2 up as well. We scored 4 in the first half, but couldn't score any in the second half. And we conceded 3 in the second half to lose 6-4. So that's a little bit frustrating. We probably should have gone through in that game. And knocked out in the 3rd round by Shrewsbury down 6-0. A League One side beating a Premier League side 6-0. That's a little bit ridiculous, but it is what it is for this first season. Transfer-wise, we've got just under £60 million as the TV money starts to come through. And of course, we'll be having Champions League football next year. Okay, so this has been a full-on transfer period. It took me ages to get this going. So to start off with, one of my favourites, Ivan Arzon up front. He doesn't have the most incredible attributes, doesn't have a high current or potential ability in the game, but he scores goals. He's fantastic in the pressing forward role. 7 goals in 4 games to start the season off. We then have Piqué, who's coming in from Racing Santander. Again, a wonderful player. Has just solid attributes all over the place, but sets up goals all day long. He's already scored 2 goals for us in these 3 games. And then Kobbie Mainoo is coming in from Man United. He comes in for £14 million. He's set up 3 goals so far in his 4 games. So he is going to be our deep-lying playmaker in the middle of the park going forward, probably for the rest of the rebuild. Stefan Bajcetic comes in. At the moment, he's probably going to be more of a backup right back, but eventually he'll become our starting right back, I would imagine, as long as he continues to progress. The man who's going to partner Kobbie Mainoo in the centre of the park is Morten Frendrup, coming in from Genoa. So he comes in to us for £12.25 million, which is a great deal. This guy is a fantastic player. And then another young Liverpool player, Calvin Ramsey. So he and Bajcetic are going to be fighting it out for who is the starting right back. Ramsey being a few years older and a little bit better in his current ability, he is going to be the starting right back to begin the season. And let's see how they go from there on in. Just a few other players that are coming in. So Mark Beavers, that was just the part of the loan deal that he's coming in. Oscar Villa, just going to be mainly a backup on at the left back. As you can see, he's had 4 games where he's come on as a sub. We're going to have Kofi Gigi. He'll probably play most games at the moment at centre back. Just brings us a bit of experience, better than most of the centre backs in the league, but eventually he will be moved on. And then we brought Martin Satriano in on loan, so he's going to be part of the attacking group for us. Decent striker, probably one who wouldn't be Premier League level to start the game, but in this kind of world, he's very good for the Premier League. And Enzo Abose is coming in from Udinese, so he's going to be probably the starting left back, probably fighting it out with James Penrice for that position. So because we're in the Champions League, I'm going to change around just a little bit. It's going to be a 4-2-4. Essentially, one of the attacking midfielders has just been brought back down a level. We'll have Mainoo mainly as our deep line playmaker, with Frendrup being the ball-winning midfielder. So, I mean, we don't have a great side, to be honest, but this is what it is. At the moment, we are building, and it's going to be for 2 seasons' time, for 3 seasons' time. Checking out the schedule, and we have lost to Man City 3-0 in the Community Shield. Man City obviously won the FA Cup last year, but in the actual league, we have beaten London Colney 6-2. So Ivan Arzon getting a double along with Yuya Azurko. We beat Rothwell Corinthians 6-0, a double each again, and then an 11-0 win against Harrogate Railway Athletic. I don't know how these guys are still in the league, to be honest. I would have thought they would have been relegated last year. But yeah, 11 goals. So a hat-trick to Izon and doubles to Asako, Adingra and Joe Aribo. But then, very disappointingly, we drew 0-0 with Newport Isle of Wight. which we can't really afford to have too many slip-ups against the other tiny clubs, because we do have a couple of the championship teams from last year coming into our league, such as Southampton, Leicester and Leeds, and they have all got 4 wins from 4 games. Okay, there we go. Let's come back at the start of February, because for one final season, we're going to make some winter transfers. And then from the seasons after that, I'm going to leave it to the director of football. And then after that, I'm just not going to have anyone make any transfers during the season for us. So let's come back to the 1st of February. Okay, so our transfers that we've made during the winter transfer, we've got Aruna Sanganta coming in from Le Havre in France. Another young centre-back, David Affengruber, should fill a gap for us at the moment. I don't expect him to be a starting centre-back for too much longer than maybe this year, maybe a bit into next season. We have Wataru Endo, who's going to be a backup midfielder for us. He's going to be in behind Frendrup and Mainoo in the pecking order. Felipe Relvas will give us another solid option at the back, because obviously the 2 centre-backs that we had to start the season are not going to be anyone who's going to progress us forward. This guy is going to be a good solid backup for us, who is better than those 2. And then finally, probably our best signing for this winter transfer period is Kurt Zuma, who's going to come in, be our captain straight away. He's going to be our main starting centre-back. Hopefully he's going to be scoring some goals for us as well from those corners. And look, he's just got everything that we need at the moment to really progress this club forward. Okay, let's go to the end of the season to see how we do. Okay, here we go. It is the end of the 2nd season. Let's see how we do. And we have come in 3rd place. That is a fantastic finish, considering we finished above one of those championship teams that have been promoted into the Premier League from last year, who should be way better than us. This is a really, really good finish. You can see Ivan Arzon getting 41 goals for the season with a 7.95 average rating. This guy is phenomenal for this kind of a level. Dorney Romero and Simon Adingra, our 2 wingers, got 20 assists as well. And Anthony Patterson was fantastic in goal with 19 clean sheets. What an awesome effort that is. How about the other competitions? Could we get anywhere in the Champions League, FA Cup or the League Cup? Let's have a look. 5th round in the FA Cup, losing to Aston Villa. That's League Cup. We lost the Championship side Stoke 2-1, which is a little bit frustrating. Beating Sheffield Wednesday 3-0 before that. And in the 3rd round, beating Leicester St Andrews, another tiny club that's come up with us, 4-0. But in the Champions League, let's see how we've done. We have finished in 28th place, so we weren't far off. I mean, we were 3 points off and quite a fair bit of goal difference. Our 2 wins came against Rangers and Ashton Athletic, who were obviously up there with us. And then we've had a draw against RB Leipzig away from home, which is a fantastic effort. And then 5 losses, a 7-0 at home to Sporting. We probably shouldn't be losing by that much to Sporting, especially at home. That's a bit disappointing. But then Freiburg, Atletico Madrid, Inter and PSV as well beat us. Let's check out those season stats for us. And Ivan Arzon with 46 goals has been an incredible pickup for us. Yuya Osako for 23 goals has been really good too. PK has been fantastic as a midfield maestro, getting 22 goals and 8 assists. While, as we saw before, Adingra and Romero have been really good on those wings. As we saw, assists 24 each to Adingra and Romero, with Prentice and Ramsey getting into double figures as well. Mainoo with 9. I probably would have wanted more from Kobbie Mainoo, but he should really improve as the seasons go on, because obviously he's got a great potential in the game. Transfer budget for next year, almost £80 million. So the Champions League money that we got from last year, and then again that we will get for next year. I think the board is really starting to back us. Again, I've been ensuring that I request for the facilities to be improved, and pretty much every time I do that, they agree to those requests. So eventually the facilities are actually going to be something that is worthwhile for this league. Folks, you would have seen the unfortunate news that FM24 has been delayed to probably November. But what that means is my goal of reaching 500 subscribers before November, it gets a little bit easier. So if you guys want to help me out, it is completely free. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to produce plenty of FM24 content in the lead up to FM25, and then when that comes out, I'm going to go really hard with producing at least 2 videos a week dedicated to Football Manger 2025, which should hopefully be a game changer. So as I said, if you want to help me out, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any of that fun content. And of course, hit the like button and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think FM25 is going to be like, especially considering all of the announcement that they have made in the previous couple of days. Let's get back into the video. Okay, again, another insane transfer period for me here because I am really just trying to build up this club. So first in is Tyreek Mitchell, who's going to be our starting left back, coming in from Crystal Palace for £15 million. So he's already played 3 games for us so far. Next up, we've got a bit of an upgrade on Anthony Patterson. We have Nicholas Heidel, who's coming in to goal. He's coming from Rapid, and he cost us £14 million. And if you have a look at that, 3 games so far and 3 clean sheets in the league. So a really good start by him. Here is probably my favourite signing of this transfer period. It is Emmanuel Omega. Really good pace, good dribbling, good finish, great off the ball movement. This guy's already scored 4 goals in 3 games for us, and he came in for £27.5 million from Strasbourg. Okay, then a couple of the other signings that I have made. I've basically realized that I need to fill out my youth team because in a few years, especially in the Champions League, I'm not going to have any players that have come through as trained by the club. So it is really important to get some really young talent coming in. This guy, Kieran Thompson, coming in from Man City, looks like he could be fantastic. This guy, Charlie Affleck, has one of the AI packs that I have in the game. He's come in from Man United. Again, he had a really good potential ability according to my scouts, so I brought him in. And this young fella, James Carter, coming in from Maidstone, again, apparently has a really good potential ability. So brought him in. He's already valued up to £21 million. So clearly that must be correct. So a lot of these players that are brought in this part of the transfer window were basically the same as that. I won't go through them all. What I will do is go through the main players. So obviously Satriano and Ebose had their loan deals made permanent. We then brought in Kang In Lee, really good signing. This guy's coming in on loan from PSG and with a potential future fee as well. We have Santiago Hetze, who's coming in from Olympiacos, mainly as a backup in the centre of midfield. I did bring in the wonderfully talented Micky Moore from Tottenham, so hopefully he can progress nicely with probably a few loans, so then he can eventually become part of the first team. Luciano Gomez is coming in on a loan deal. Again, probably just a backup at the moment, but he's someone who gives us options in all 3 of those central midfield roles. And speaking of the same, a little bit of Premier League experience coming in with Sean Longstaff. Again, someone who's not going to take us to the next level, but he's going to do a real good job for us in the meantime before we are able to progress. Okay, so what I've needed to do is just bring those wingers back 1 level and make a positive approach rather than attacking approach. I've still got the attacking forward, the advanced forward and the pressing forward up front because that suits our 2 main strikers, Omega and Arzon, really well. Okay, to start the season, we had a 0-0 draw at home with Leicester, which is actually a decent result. Obviously, Leicester should be a better team than us because we're building right from scratch. A 2-0 win over Winsfield United at home. 2 second half goals by Emmanuel Omega. This guy is fantastic. And then an 8-0 win to Godalming Town at home. A hat-trick to Ivan Arzon and a double to Emmanuel Omega. So another really good result. And that puts us into 5th place at the moment, behind Southampton, Leeds, Heather St. John's, who have actually been doing really, really well. And Sunderland are there, of course. In terms of our Champions League fixtures, we've got a bit of a hard spell here. We've got Celtic, Valencia, Dortmund, Porto, Bayern, Copenhagen, PSG and Slavia Prague. So PSG, Bayern, Porto, Borussia Dortmund and even Valencia are going to be really tough games. Hopefully we can do something against Celtic, Copenhagen and Slavia Prague. Maybe pick up a draw here or there against the others and maybe get into the top 24. Hopefully we can. It'll be a little bit better than last year, but let's progress on forward to see how we do. All right, end of the 3rd season. Let's see how we did. It's a 4th place finish, which is a fantastic result. We are level on points with Leicester City. And let's have a look. Omega got 21 goals. Arzon and Kang In Lee are up there with the assists as well. Arzon had a great season once again with 7.47 average rating in the league. Okay, let's check to see the full league table. And it looks like Norwich have lost on the last day to us. We beat Norwich on the last day of this season to get into 4th place. That is fantastic. So without that, we would not have been in the Champions League. We probably would have been... In fact, we may have dropped down into the Conference League without that, because I think we probably would have been down in 7th place had we not won that last game of the season. 9 points behind Sunderland, so a little bit behind them, but we were so close to 2nd in a hell of a logjam. So 2nd to 7th were separated by 3 points, and all of us were around about the same kind of goal difference too. So a fantastic season that would have been to watch. Let's have a look at our other competitions to see if we did anything in the others. Knocked out in the 3rd round in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and in the league phase in the Champions League. So that's not the greatest. Let's say 30th. We only won 1 game this year. As we said, we had a ridiculously hard draw. So we beat Slavia Prague away from home 3-2. That's really good. We drew with Copenhagen and Celtic. So that were the 3 games that I said we should be getting points from. Unfortunately, we couldn't get 2 wins from the Copenhagen and Celtic games. And then lost 5. A really good account of ourselves. So we did pretty well, I think, in the league phase, considering the draw we were given. So this year, our goal supply was a little bit lacking. We are now playing more of those championship teams, or previously championship teams, as they progress into the Premier League. So Omega, Artson, Satriano and Kang In Lee all got double figures. So good effort to get 4 players into double figures. Kang In Lee, Ivan Arzon and Kobbie Mainoo getting double figures for assists, and Friendrup getting pretty close to it as well. So again, as we said before, a great season by Ivan Arzon once again. Emmanuel Omega up front has been a really good signing and looks like he's only just getting better. But for next season, we only have £40 million and our wage budget is in the negative, so we might have to do a bit of wheeling and dealing to see if we can get some more players through the door. We do have quite a few players that we could probably sell off, so let's see if we can do that. Okay, so we managed to sell £80 million worth of players, with the likes of PK going to Sunderland for 24.5, Calvin Ramsey going to Ipswich for 24 million, Longstaff going to Southampton for 12.5, and then a few others like Aribo, Abose, Gabriel Harding, Affengruber, all making a little bit of money for us as well. So at the end of last season, we were able to pick up Ilya Zabani, a really good centre-back. Hasn't improved much, mainly because the team he's playing for is in the lower reaches of English football. So hopefully he can improve while he's playing for our team. We then have Tomiyasu coming in from Liverpool for just £2.6 million, which is one of the benefits of doing a save like this. He's going to be a right back at the moment. And this young fella, Umut Karishki, coming in from Turkey. He's straight out on loan to Harlow Town. This guy has a really good potential and looks like he's going to be a fantastic player. Already got great acceleration and teamwork. Hopefully he can improve with maybe a couple of years out on loan and eventually be a starting centre back for us. Okay, so the players that aren't regens that I've just brought in to top up the squad, although I will show you one who is incredible shortly. Obviously, Micky van der Ven is coming in for £7 million from Tottenham. A fantastic, very, very quick centre-back and can possibly play at left-back if we needed to as well. But he's probably going to be our starting left-sided centre-back. The deal for Kang In Lee was confirmed, so he's coming in permanently from PSG. Højbjerg is coming in from Man United, funnily enough. So he's obviously made the transfer from Tottenham to United, and now he's coming in to us on a free. Again, mainly just as a backup, but can literally play anywhere on the park. Rico Lewis is coming in for £15 million. There aren't too many saves you could get where you'd get a guy like this for just £15 million. But of course, he's in Man City playing in probably the 7th tier of English football. So £15 million is a massive deal for them. Salamakers is coming in on loan and with a potential future fee, which we will probably activate at some point, but he's mainly going to be a backup for us. And then Yuri Alberto is coming in on loan with a permanent deal already sewed up, so he's coming in from Barcelona. So again, a really good attacking option for us. Okay, this is the guy that I wanted to show you. So obviously the technical abilities aren't incredible at the moment, though his dribbling is good. This guy's mental attributes already are fantastic. and his physicals are getting better. He's sent straight out on loan to Heather St John's, but I think probably from next season, he would just about be our starting right back because he's got an incredible potential in the game according to our scouts, and looks like he'll be a really good fullback or possibly even a wing back for us going forward. So tactics-wise, we're just keeping it the same at the moment, still with the positive mentality. We had a great season, probably a better season than what I was expecting last year, so I don't want to mess around with that too much. Maybe next year we'll look at bringing it back on to more of an attacking mentality as we have even better players getting into the side. In the schedule, unfortunately, we have a really bad loss in here, but to start off with, we had a 5-0 win against Harlow Town with doubles to Ivan Arzon and Simon Adingra. Heather St John's then beat us 2-1, which is probably not what we want. We then beat Winsfield United 3-0 with the Mega getting a double, and then drew 2-2 to Norwich City. That currently puts us in 7th place, but we do have a lot of work to do. And of course, we do have Champions League football this season. So if we go into the schedule for Champions League football, we start off with Ipswich Town at home, which is weird, which I also think in real life that's not going to happen. I don't believe you'll be playing teams from your own country unless there's no other possibility that that wouldn't work out. Then we've got Besiktas, Antwerp, Sporting, Napoli, Braga, Roma, and Bayer Leverkusen. That is a much kinder draw than what we had last season. So hopefully now we can finally get past the league phase of the Champions League. Let's see how we do it season number 4. Season number 4 is in the books, and we have gone a little bit backwards, but probably to be expected as we now have a substantial amount of bigger teams in the league that we have to compete with rather than all these smaller teams that came up with us. So Leicester won the league this season by 12 points. We came in 5th place on 69, so I mean, it's a nice number, but it's not nice for us. We probably need to be a fair bit better than that. And with our total of, 82, I think, last year, we have gone backwards quite a fair bit. Omega and Arzon continued their incredible partnership up front with 22 and 20 goals respectively, and both led the average rating for the league. Adingra and Kangin Lee also did really well for assists for our team. It's probably at the back where we are struggling by the look of that. Let's check out the other competitions now, and we got past the league phase in the Champions League. We got to the round of 16, in fact, where we got kind of lumped by Salzburg 6-1, but that's okay, we managed to get there. Let's check that league phase. We finished in 7th place in the league phase. That is incredible. I think those 2 red marks at the end were probably the Salzburg games, so we lost our last 2 in the league, so we could have been even higher. So our 5 wins, 6-0 against Braga, 2-1 against Napoli, 3-0 against Antwerp, 2-1 against Besiktas, and 2-0 against Ipswich. I told you it was a better draw for us, and we have taken advantage of that really well. And then losses to Leverkusen, Roma and Sporting, which are probably the 3 you'd expect us to lose against. And for a little perspective, neither of Ipswich or Southampton made it past the league phase. And I think it's Sunderland were in 11th place. So we have done incredibly well in the Champions League for this season. Our goals for the season, Omega and Arzon both getting plenty of goals, 29 and 27 respectively. Then Alberto, Adingra and Kangin Lee were also in double figures. And for assists, we have Adingra, Kangin Lee and Shalamakers getting double figure assists. So Shalamakers actually did really well considering he only had 21 starts. Our final season's transfer budget, and we have been given a fair bit more money. So £66.68 million in the budget, and we have £73,000 of the wage budget. So we'll probably move a little bit over so we can actually negotiate some good deals for some players. This is going to be a huge transfer window again, I can just feel it. So come back with me shortly and I'll tell you what I did with it. Okay, so a couple on the outs before the changeover of season. Hjoberg, Satriano and Patterson were all sent out. All managed to get 7 figures for them, probably less than what I would have been expecting, but we got some money, that's fine. And then if we have a look at the players that have gone out after that changeover season, Nicholas Heidel out to Inter for up to £62 million, which just an incredible deal. I don't know how we got that much for him. Big controversial, Ivan Arzon has gone to Southampton for £32.5 million. Kurt Zuma has gone to Saudi Arabia for £30 million. And Sangante has gone out to Holmer Green for up to £19 million. So we managed to raise £143 million through our transfers out, with a few loan deals getting a decent amount of money as well. Okay, so we brought in Yannick Eduardo, who comes in from RB Leipzig, who's already got 2 goals in 3 games for us this season. Pedro Neto coming in, former Wolves player, of course. He's actually had a spell at Atherton Lebanon Rovers. Okay, and we'll start with a free signing. We have Michael Elise coming in from Crystal Palace. Hopefully a really good deal for us. Gives us another great attacking option that can play pretty much anywhere in midfield. But now some big money moves. Patrick Dorgu is coming in to be our starting left back. So now we've got 2 really good left backs in Dorgu and Mitchell, and one of them will play left back, the other can play left wing. They can interchange with each other, so I think this is a really good deal. £50 million for someone who's probably worth double that at the moment. Abakar Silla is coming in as the centre back option. Incredible physicals already. Mentals are starting to get really good too. Really good leader, which is probably what we need now that Kurt Zuma is gone. Fills his role pretty well. Max Merdink is coming in, probably going to be our backup striker, but has got 2 goals off the bench so far this season. So if you're getting someone like Merdink off the bench and scoring goals, that is going to be a phenomenal threat late in games. Alongside Yuri Alberto coming in from Barcelona with his loan deal being made permanent, we also have another attacking threat coming in from Barcelona in Furman. Again, good technicals, pretty good physicals, mentals getting better, mainly a backup, but has scored 2 goals in 2 games for us so far this season. And probably the best signing for me this summer will be this guy, Wally Yonk. At the moment, he's not outstanding, but he could be one of the best keepers in the Premier League by the time he reaches his potential, according to our scouts. I'm probably going to lock him in for the season, although he is injured at the moment with a fractured lower leg, so that is not great. But I think once he starts to improve and gets a lot of game time, this guy is going to be one of the best in the league. And more of a defensive midfield option is Yannick Engelhardt, who is coming in from Schalke. Okay, so we have changed it up a bit. We're going with a 4-2-3-1 and we're going back on the attack. So Mainoo and Lewis are going to be our rocks in central midfield. We've got plenty of attacking options to settle in beside Omega, who's basically going to be our #1 man the entire season, with Merdink to be his backup. Koopman comes in and is actually going to be our starting right back. So this guy, again, technicals aren't overly great, but they are getting better. His physicals are really good. His mentals are really good for his age. We're going to lock him in as our right back for the season and just hope he just becomes incredible. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a second part to this where hopefully we are eventually going to win the Champions League with this team. Checking out the schedule, and it is all green so far. So we started off with a 4-1 win against Winsford United. We always seem to play Winsford United at the start of the season. A 4-0 win against London Colney. A 2-1 win against Atherton Lebanon Rovers. And a 3-0 win against Ipswich. And then progressed in the Carabao Cup 1-0 against Molesey. And of course, we are not in the Champions League for this season. We are in the Europa League, which I think should serve us much better. I reckon we might be able to get a little bit further in the Europa League. And we have Ferencváros, Cercle Bruges, AEK, Sporting. We always seem to play Sporting. Doesn't matter which competition we're in, we seem to be alongside Sporting. Slovan Bratislava, Lons, SK Sturm, and AZ. I think we should be able to get through, hopefully in the top 8 with that kind of a set of fixtures, because I think we're better than most of these teams now. And by the look of it, we're actually playing at Wembley for our home games in the Europa League, which is incredible, because we'll probably get like 12,000 people there. Okay, so what that means, of course, is we are on top of the Premier League to start the season. Can we stay there? Can we get back into the Champions League? So for the next video, we are already starting in the Champions League and we just need to progress from there. Let's find out. Season number 5. Let's get it in the books. Alright, for the last season for this video before we go on to part 2 for the next video, and it is a 2nd place finish and back into the Champions League for next year. 79 points, 10 more than last year, only 7 behind Leeds United, so a really good 5th season for Croydon. And once again, Emmanuel Omega has been superb for us, so 21 goals. Let's have a look at his tallies the whole way through. So when he joined us, 21, 22, and 21. Just a really, really good player, and definitely someone I'm going to be looking to bring in more often to my team. Kangan Lee was great again. He got 11 assists for the team. This one stings. Georgie Mamadashvili, I tried to get him and he signed for Leeds instead of us. I even bumped up. I was offering him more than £105,000 per week. I was putting in £120,000 per week because when Leeds came in for him, I went for him. But sadly, he decided to go to Leeds. So we went for Wally Yonk, who I think has been really good for us. But now let's check those other competitions. Have we done anything else? Quarter-final Europa League to Man City. Where are Man City at the moment? Man City just won the Vanarama National League North, and we just got knocked out in the quarterfinal, and quite handily too. So they beat us 7-3 overall. They have Erdegaard, Fofana and Livramento in the side, as well as McAllister, and still have Grealish. They've signed Gakpo as well, so they've clearly got a really good side still. In the league phase, we finished in 6th place, so again, we've done really well. Man City were up there in 4th, and Leeds were up there in 7th too. So let's have a look. We had 5 wins, 1-0 against Stone. Excellent. We beat Sporting for the first time in this save, 3-0. Then 3-0 to AEK, 6-1 to Cercle Bruges, and a fantastic 8-0 win against Frankfurt. A draw against Lons, and 2 losses, 6-4 and 4-3. So scoring plenty of goals, which is what I like. I really like attacking football, obviously. 30 goals, 13 conceded. There's your entertainment right there. But in the other competitions, we had a 5th round loss to Sunderland in the FA Cup, which is disappointing. We should probably be better than Sunderland now. And a semi-final loss to Leicester, 4-2 overall. Okay, checking out goals, we had Omega with 36. Now, I actually didn't go through the 3 loan players that I picked up, which were Rodrigo Riquelme, and then the 2 goalkeepers, just as backup to Wally Yonk while he was injured. But Rodrigo Riquelme came in on loan from Atletico Madrid and has clearly done very well for us as another attacking option. And Kangan Lee getting 14, Alberto 14, and Furman getting 12. In terms of assists, we have Kangan Lee with 18, Jan Koopman with 15, our young Dutch right back. His tackling is 16, that's really good. So yep, getting much better. 32 games for the season. In the Premier League, he had another 11 in the Europa League with 7 assists in the Europa League. A really good choice to put him as our starting right back for the season. Already up to 4 stars at 20 years old. I'm loving that choice. So next time out, we're going to get... No, we're not going to get much money at all. We've got £15 million. We're going to be doing a lot of wheeling and dealing for the next video. Hopefully that will come out in the next couple of weeks. But of course, if you're enjoying this kind of thing, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any future content from Mr. Apple's FM. And leave a comment down below if you're enjoying these kind of videos, and if there's any other kind of experiment that you'd like me to perform, and I can see if I can make a video out of it just for you to produce to everyone else. And of course, the most important thing is you make sure you have yourself a wonderful day.